Hello class, my name is Elena Harris and I will be your instructor today. Welcome to the training workshop on older adults experiencing homelessness. The objective of today's class is to educate you on this quickly growing crisis that's been sweeping our nation and how we as social workers can support this vulnerable population. Today I'll be going over some startling statistics and challenges that are impacting the older homeless population. Then we will review the NASW Code of Ethics and supporting evidence of this rising epidemic and how we as social workers can apply the Code of Ethics in our interventions at both the micro and macro levels. I would like this to be an interactive session, so I will allow for time for questions and answers for our discussion posts. According to the 2021 profile of older Americans that was published by the Administration on Aging, there were 56 million people 65 years and older, with 5 million of them living below the poverty level. In 2023, there are 138,000 homeless older adults, which is nearly 1 in 4 of the unsheltered homeless people in the country. The U.S. government defines homelessness as lacking a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residency, including residing in emergency shelters or places that are not meant for human habitation, or the imminent risk of becoming homeless. The fastest growing age group that are experiencing homelessness is the 55 and older population at an alarming rate, and that's only projected to escalate over the next couple of years. The challenges facing this vulnerable aging population are mostly due to low fixed incomes, high healthcare costs, lack of affordable housing and nutritious food, and social isolation. Social isolation increases the risk of homelessness as some older adults lack the supports and housing from their children, relatives, and friends. Most of them have been experiencing chronic homelessness, which means that they've been homeless and living on the streets or shelters continuously for 1 year, and or it could be 4 separate occasions within 3 years. Others are new to homelessness due to either a death of a partner or a relative, divorce, disputes with landlords and neighbors. And being homeless actually speeds up the rate of aging and causes early onset geriatric conditions and premature mortality. This is a major contributing factor to high health service utilization in our country. Age 50 is the new 75 for older adults experiencing homelessness. They look older, they experience the same geriatric conditions, including memory loss, falls, other functional impairments. So that being said, homeless adults are categorized as older, starting at age 50. According to the National Association of Social Work Code of Ethics, we need to advocate for vulnerable populations and help address their needs and promote social change. No matter the circumstances, every person deserves to be treated with respect and promote their right to self-determination. However, as social workers, we must monitor and any risks that their decisions may have on their health and well-being. We have to ensure that we are culturally competent and engage in ongoing education to better serve our clients. Older adults are very susceptible to fraudulent scams and are often too trusting of the wrong people and not trusting enough of the right people that are trying to actually help them. So it's really important that we help them understand their rights, even if they feel they don't have any, and that we become their advocates when they lack decision-making capacity. According to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, housing resources such as emergency shelters, temporary housing, even permanent housing are often not prepared to meet the complex physical and mental health needs of older adults. Researchers, as well as service providers and community-based organizations, acknowledge the need to modify programs, services, and supports to consider the specific needs of this growing older homeless population. Many studies have proven the long-term impact that homelessness has on older adults. The two studies highlighted on this slide focus on health outcomes and functional impairments among the older adults experiencing homelessness. Housing programs do show positive impacts on depression and acute care utilization. However, housing does not improve geriatric conditions or address functional impairments. So interventions really need to provide individualized supports for mental and physical illnesses, in addition to housing with ADA accommodations and capabilities. Other research was conducted to examine the increased morbidity and mortality rates among this population. Again, studies prove that immediate outcomes of Housing First initiatives can reduce some risks, but interventions do need to integrate supportive services and end-of-life care. Most older adults don't understand what advanced care planning is, especially the homeless population. Unfortunately or sadly, they're more likely to die in the intensive care unit by themselves with no advocate and no end-of-life directives. So I know I've been giving you a lot of information, which can be overwhelming. So let's take a quick break and check in. So which one of these statistics surprises you the most and why? Did you know that 15% of older Americans currently live below poverty level? And that 55 plus and over make up 1/3 of the homeless population? And that that population is expected to triple by the year 2030, and that 50-year-olds age at the same rate of 70-year-olds. So let me know which one surprises you the most and why. Okay, so you've heard about the multitude of challenges facing the older adult population experiencing homelessness and the overwhelming data and research presented on the topic. So how can we as social workers help support their needs and help them regain their dignity and their self-worth? As the research has suggested, the priority is to get them housed and provide them with supportive services. So that being said, a case management approach would be the most effective model to ensure that they receive the care and the supports that they need to navigate the challenging systems. We need to advocate for them and make sure that their voices are heard so that they can find not only economic support in housing, but also the services they need for their mental and physical health illnesses. This quote from the National Public TV video clip really stuck with me. There is no medicine as powerful as housing, and when people are homeless, everything else falls apart. Older homeless adults have higher rates of chronic illnesses, geriatric conditions, which includes memory loss, falls, difficulty with active daily living, and as well as high blood pressure, arthritis, functional disability, and premature mortality, which usually happens from chronic conditions such as cardiovascular disease and cancer. The permanent supportive housing service framework recognizes the progression towards greater dependence as part of a natural course of aging, and it's only intensified by homelessness. So supportive housing offers comprehensive programs managed by caseworkers and social workers to provide access to optional services, including medical and mental health challenges. Supportive housing has been proven to increase health outcomes and decrease the healthcare costs on our systems. When looking at the social work practice at a micro level, I chose to look at the Hearth model. This was created by a Boston-based nonprofit organization in 1991. The approach offers outreach and supportive housing to provide affordable housing and on-site services to end and prevent homelessness for older adults age 50 and older. The program is reliant on interdisciplinary teams made up of case managers and social workers to ensure proper management and coordination of care and services. During the beginning stages of the outreach program, case managers assist with navigating challenging systems and applications for subsidized housing, for healthcare, legal aid, financial benefits, etc. And once they're placed in supportive housing, social workers and other professionals will work together to create a person-centered action plan and intervention that'll address social isolation, medical and mental health illnesses, including substance use. At the macro level, there needs to be ongoing advocacy for older adults, especially those experiencing homelessness. There needs to be additional economic supports from the government and other agencies to create more affordable housing and subsidies. SAMHSA actually created a program called SOAR, which is Social Security Disability Income Access and Recovery. This program is designed to help chronically homeless individuals that are experiencing mental and physical illnesses. Up to this point, it's been very challenging to submit SSDI applications, and the majority of them get denied for various reasons. But the SOAR program offers social workers and case managers training to help them fill out the applications to ensure that they're comprehensive, and it accelerates the approval process. I'm actually currently enrolled in the online training program to get SOAR certified, which is an exciting thing for my organization. Pathways to Independence is another program that includes wraparound services funded by SAMHSA that involves a community approach to person-centered care by integrating systems with specialists in each area, including medical and behavioral health, all co-located within a homeless service agency, facilitating easier and faster access to services, which again includes social workers coordinating and navigating care. My community has actually created an Elder Hub consortium across all the nonprofits in the area. We base the model off of our area school district hub that helps support children and families in the community. I actually do the scheduling and lead the meetings once a month at the local senior center. The purpose of the hub is to identify at-risk seniors in our community before they end up homeless or even worse. Everyone signs a confidentiality agreement, and we discuss individual cases to identify available resources and recommendations. Participants include everyone from the homeless shelter, senior center, senior housing, the YMCA, our local food bank, hospital outreach, and other nonprofit organizations that service the older population in our area. I would actually love to see this model be replicated in other communities to address and prevent the issues that you learned about today. So for our discussion, I would like to know if you're aware of the homeless population in your community and what percentage are age 55 and older. I work with the local homeless population in a thriving suburban community in Chester County, and more than half of our guests at the Overnight Code Blue shelter are over 60 years old. The other guests are in their 30s and 40s, and they're starting to experience geriatric medical and mental health conditions due to their chronic homelessness. I was never aware of this population in my community until I started my generalist field placement at the local Center for Emergency Resources and Code Blue shelter. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to learn about this very important, relevant, and growing crisis in our country and local communities. I look forward to hearing your feedback and answering any questions that you have about the older adult population experiencing homelessness. The next couple of slides will show the resources I found in my research in case you want to learn more. So thank you.